when Vincent does that whole jumps off and gets onto the other train thing, right? He enters through the back of the train and follows them to the front of the train.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck is the train conductor?
Theoretically in the front.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they're at the front by the end because they get to the front of the train and they have nowhere else to go. So they have to shoot it out.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing that I was just like, how is this train not getting stopped? Understandably, the people in the train might just run. That guy has a gun. Okay,
get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out. Maybe they don't say anything to the train conductor. They just run away. But like, we see him get in on this side of the train and then get out of the other side.
You'd be lucky to get a letter nick. Out here telling the bounce, you gotta let him in. I'm in the city, you know I'm repping the South. In high school, you know I used to put 5 on it. Let me paint some homage. I'm always keeping it honest.
Hey, welcome back to the Black and White Cinema Podcast with Kev and Ugie. I'm Kev.
I'm Ugie, and today we did one of my favorite movies, Collateral. But before we get into Collateral, Kevin, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing pretty good. We got a bunch of fan takes and comments. Thank you to everyone who's been commenting on stuff. Ugie, I'll let you read the first few here.
All right, so I selected some of my favorite fan comments over the month of April. We're going to start off with Forever Connected 23. She says, I see the Mel Gibson view from behind as evening out the treat you guys get in the beginning. I said in the beginning, this is in reference to Lethal Weapon. Yeah. I said that the beginning wasn't necessarily a treat.
Right. I think you called them very 80s titties.
Yeah. I was just like, but I honestly feel that women won out if we're doing the ogling game. I feel like women won out. He has like really nice, firm, supple behind.
Yes. Sure. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I think from a pure cash value perspective, Mel Gibson's ass is more valuable than Amanda Hunsaker's.
We don't even know the name of the actress.
Yeah, exactly.
Starting off hot. All right. Our next comment's from @JamesDavis 17C. You guys are idiots.
He's not wrong.
I read that comment and I just bust out laughing. I was like, yeah thanks, dog.
You're right, James. Yeah, we are idiots, but we're idiots on camera and you're at home.
Next we have from Empress Ventress. Off topic, great smile. On topic, I hate sharing toilets. That was in reference to our discussion about my homie that goes around taking dumps.
His favorite toilets in the city.
Thank you very much. That made my day. We get mean comments and we get nice comments.
Nice. I like that. Yeah. I like that.
Then our final comment was more of like a suggestion or like nice feedback. This was on, I believe, Instagram. There was zero context for this short. I'd never seen you before, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's good feedback. Yeah. Note to us to at least put the movie name in the short.
Just us talking about random top. What do you remember which short that was?
I don't. I could find it, but thank you, Devin Thornton on 1P, because it didn't occur to me. That was like legitimately helpful feedback from the comment section. Versus like you guys know have no charisma. And then I got one. It wasn't a comment, but a text from my friend Ian. The first thing is that when before we started, we had like planned our first few episodes, and I told him like what we were gonna do, and he's like, "Are you guys like a Law and Order themed podcast?" And like we talked about that last week, how we've accidentally done all LAPD stuff. So Ian, props. I have the receipts. We'll put a screenshot of when Ian called our theme before we even knew what it was. Ian also told me, and I actually saw that we had a comment about this as well after I got this text, that Gary Busey got in a motorcycle accident between Lethal Weapon and Point Break, which is why he looked so different and seemed so different and brain trauma and all that. But apparently, Gary Busey was so convinced that he visited heaven in that near-death experience with the motorcycle accident that he got in a fight with production on a subsequent movie because they weren't portraying heaven correctly. And he knew because he'd been there. Nice. And so he like started a fight over it. So Gary Busey, friend of the podcast.
My personal hell would be fighting with Gary Busey over
that's a man who has nothing to lose.
Of heaven.
Yeah.
We got that comment from like 3 people. I also got a text message about that. Like everyone came to swing for Gary Busey. They were just like, no. He wasn't just like that.
Right. It wasn't just the drugs. He has severe brain trauma.
Yeah.
Fair.
Agreed. Shout out Gary Busey, friend of the podcast.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
If you want to get into heaven, you just have to be better than Gary Busey.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Or better than Gary Busey in the mid-'80s. Yeah. I don't know about better than Gary Busey in the 2000s.
That's true.
But yeah, thank you everyone again for comments, texts. I don't think we have emails turned on anymore, but we appreciate all that. The engagement makes it worth doing because otherwise it's just us talking to each other for hours a night.
I don't care about you people out there, honestly. I could talk to Kevin for hours and it would make me super happy. So we appreciate the engagement. That's great, but
it does make it a little more fun.
Yeah,
but we don't need
it. That's the cherry on top.
Right.
But
exactly.
the cake is sitting here with you.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. I'll hype you if no one else does, bro.
So we're going to do our recurring segment called See What Had Happened Was. This is where one of us describes a movie poorly or intentionally misleadingly, and the other has to guess. So I don't know what Ugo's about to describe. Let's see if I can get it.
Yeah. See, what had happened was this guy gets into some financial troubles due to some irresponsible behavior by someone close to him. He ends up with some geriatric roommates, and meanwhile, his job, there's a coworker who carries himself like he's built completely differently than everyone else. There's a high-stakes showdown, and this grown employed adult is taking it way too seriously. I think you know what it is, but do any of you know what it is?
You got it?
I think I do.
Do you got it?
No.
All right. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Grandma's Boy.
You were correct.
Mama's Boy?
Grandma's Boy.
Grandma's Boy. Yeah. No,
it was Happy Madison.
Yeah,
but he wasn't in it.
Right.
Yeah. It's the guy that plays the homeless caddy.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
I don't know his name either. But JP.
Yeah.
Sit on my face.
Yeah. All right, so we can get into something about Ugie. We're going to get into Collateral now. Collateral starring Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. Tagline, it started like any other night.
Decent.
Yeah, it's decent. Again, doesn't really describe the movie, but I think it's a little bit more, it's playing more on the intrigue of this movie, which I'll give it a little bit of a pass there. On the shitometer, I give it a 5. Yeah. It's decent. It's not bad.
Yeah. It's at least not wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've had our bar lowered so much by some of these.
Yeah.
It was released on August 6, 2004. It's rated R with a 2-hour runtime. Honestly, this one is another one of those ones. I had fun the entire time.
It's just well paced. Yeah. Michael Mann, it just knows what he's doing.
It was directed by Michael Mann. Last of Mohicans, Heat, Ali, Ferrari. It was written by Stuart Beattie, who did Pirates of the Caribbean, all of them, 30 Days of Night, and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Did you seen 30 Days a Night?
I have no idea what that is.
It's a Josh Hartnett vampire movie.
Okay, I was going to guess it was like some sort of like...
It's very good. It's about a town in like northern Alaska where the sun sets for an entire month and like vampires like swarm in because they can just avoid the sun for 30 days. Very, very upsetting.
You should probably do that.
That's a good movie, yeah. And then I put in the budget numbers.
I did not look.
Cool. Okay, so this is the game we play to figure out how profitable it is. All right, so we're going to play our budget game. I will give everyone the budget, and y'all will guess what it made opening weekend, gross U.S. and gross worldwide. So the budget estimate for this movie in $2004 is $65 million. I think one of the more expensive movies we've done. Ugie, what are your guesses?
It has Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx, and also like a really great cast, Jada Pinkett. I feel like it probably made its money back. Opening weekend, I don't remember it being like 65 million is a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So
there's only so much you can make in 3 days.
Yeah. I mean, opening weekend, I'm going to guess like 40 because Tom Cruise, people probably went. We should really start saying what it was up against those weekends and what weekend it was actually. Well, August 4th, August, end of the summer. It probably did decent. Yeah, I'm going to go 40 million. Opening weekend gross, I'm going to say that this is a great movie. And, I'm going to say 120 US, Canada, 200 worldwide.
Okay. Mace, you want to make a guess?
I'm kind of
about the same. Anyone else want to say Oogie's wrong?
Well, I am wrong.
Okay. So opening weekend was only 24. It's just, like I said, there's only so much you can do in 3 days. That is a pretty successful opening weekend. You were extremely close with both grosses. So you said 120 US, Canada, it was 101.
Okay.
And you said 200 worldwide, it was 220.
Yeah.
So Right in the pocket.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is bankable. Like you can put him on a ham sandwich and make $100 million.
Was this before he freaked out on Oprah?
I don't think so.
I feel like it was around that time.
No, 2004 actually. No, it was before.
Yeah.
I think he did that when we were in college.
Yeah. Yeah, 2004. Yeah. I think this was like pretty peak Tom Cruise. And I also think I could be wrong on this. Tell me in the comments if there's something I'm not thinking of, but I think this was the first time he was a villain. Because I remember the reaction to the trailer being like, whoa, Tom Cruise with gray hair. Whoa, Tom Cruise is a bad guy. So I think like there was a lot of intrigue built up around it.
I really like it. Like even going back to this is like, I know that we always get this, like you always want to get that smile from Tom Cruise because he has like that Tom Brady, like white boy smile that's just like worth $1 billion. But like seriously, he acts his ass off in this.
He does.
I really like Tom Cruise, the actor. And in this particular movie, totally. So yeah,
I think I could do more of him as a villain, honestly, because I think like Tom Cruise is really good, and especially like back then, I think he's kind of weird Scientologist guy now, but like still acts pretty well. Like Maverick was good, but like his kind of like unhinged sociopath is like so good. Like it's so believable because the guy's just kind of weird himself. Yeah. So it just works.
Yeah, people are people.
It was like Les Grossman in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's also he takes over every scene that's a movie that's filled with that's a star-studded cast, and every scene that he's in, he takes over.
Yeah.
So like Tom Cruise, the actor, salute, friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
Also friend.
the boldest take in the world. Hey, Tom Cruise is a good actor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, some people get there through looks, but some people can act.
No, he is very good.
One of the biggest, I'm going to take us on our first aside, but one of the big debates in the group chat, I'm not sure if you were present for that, but has been on the validity of the acting of Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah. I was firmly in it's fun because he's unhinged, but it's not great.
Nepo baby or not? You think that he's only there because?
Well, I think he got a leg up.
Yeah.
But also, like, when he was a teenager, he asked his uncle. So, Nick Cage, if you don't know, I just learned this last week. Nick Cage is the nephew of the guy that did Apocalypse Now.
Coppola?
Thank you. Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh.
So, Nick Cage is his nephew. And when he was 15, asked Coppola to put him in a movie. And he said, nope, do it on your own, kid. So, he had access, which is what Nepo babies have. But he didn't really get the, like, hand pull in to the business. So...
Mm-hmm. But you have that like behind the scenes sort of.
It's the same with all those kids that grew up in Malibu together, like him and Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, Sean Penn. Like they were all sons of actors, sons of directors, nephews.
Someone was like, yeah.
If you lived in Malibu at that time, like your family was in the biz, and so if your family's in the biz, you have an in the biz. And I think, sure, there's levels to it. You know, he's not like one of the Nordstrom brothers who's like an actual idiot company. Running $1 billion company.
You got a family in the diamond business.
Exactly.
I need to stop doing free advertisements for companies. All right. Yeah, we're gonna get into the movie now. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change it up a tad bit. We're gonna just give a full synopsis of the movie, and then we're going to then discuss our favorite scenes from the movie, kind of try and streamline this and maybe just have a little bit more Kevin Ugie conversations rather than. So then in the next scene.
Yeah. This is your spoiler warning. If you haven't seen this movie 22 years later, please. We're about to tell you how it goes. So up to you whether you watch it or not.
This movie is like maybe just like a half step lower than Training Day for me. This is like one of my top tier favorite movies.
We don't have to wait till the final takes for me to say this. This is a great movie. This is my second time watching it. I might have seen it in theaters in 2004 or I saw it at home, but every second of it is good.
Yeah.
It's a very intentional, very tense romp. So do highly recommend watching regardless of if you let us spoil it for you right now, which we are going to do.
Yep. So we'll get started.
Yep.
Max DeRoby is a careful, meticulous cab driver who has spent the last 12 years planning to one day start his own limousine company, though he's never acted on it. One night, he picks up a charming, silver-haired businessman named Vincent, who offers him $600 to make several stops across the city and drive him to the airport by morning. Max agrees.
At the first stop, a body falls from a building and crashes into Max's cab. It's the man Vincent had just visited. Max realizes Vincent is a contract killer hired to assassinate 5 targets in one night. Vincent forces Max to continue driving him using the threat of violence and the fact that he's hidden Max's friend's contact information as leverage.
As the night progresses, Max is compelled to drive Vincent from hit to hit across Los Angeles. Along the way, the LAPD and FBI, led by Detective Ray Fanning, begin to piece together that the hitman is systematically killing witnesses set to testify against a powerful drug cartel boss named Felix Reyes Terrena. Felix has hired Vincent to eliminate all 5 witnesses before the trial.
Max attempts to resist and sabotage Vincent at several points. At one stop, he deliberately botches a meeting with a jazz club owner named Daniel, one of the targets, and later throws Vincent's briefcase containing the hit list off a highway overpass, which forces Vincent to improvise, sending Max to retrieve it at gunpoint. The two develop an uneasy, tense dynamic with Vincent serving as a cynical, philosophical foil to Max's passive, dreaming nature, challenging Max's complacency and lack of ambition.
The situation escalates when Max discovers that his final passenger from earlier in the evening, Annie Farrell, a federal prosecutor he'd had a genuine connection with, is Vince's 5th and final target. Max desperately tries to reach her and warn her.
In the climax, Max races to the building where Annie works. Vincent gets to her first and a tense chase ensues through the skyscraper and eventually onto a metro train. Max, forced to finally act decisively, confronts Vincent. In the final showdown aboard the train, Max shoots Vincent, who collapses and dies quietly in his seat as the train rolls on, alone, as he'd always lived.
Annie and Max survive, and the film ends with the suggestion that Max had finally been jolted out of his stagnant, dreaming life into actually living it.
What a good movie. I do want to shout out a couple of the actors that we didn't mention as stars earlier on. So Felix, played brilliantly by Javier Bardem. Detective Fanning was...
played by Mark Ruffalo.
Who I did not remember was in this movie and has the greasiest hair and little mustache.
He doesn't look like Mark Ruffalo, but you can see his eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You also get like Jason Statham for like a half second in the beginning.
Yeah. That's actually the first cut I wanted to talk about. The kind of establishing shots early in the movie. Because the first shot that we get as soon as it rolls off of the title screen is Tom Cruise walking through the airport. And if you didn't see the trailer, you might be like, oh, okay, he's doing a thing. But they establish so quickly just with that interaction with Jason Statham that he's up to something shady.
Yeah.
I also wonder, like, how Statham ended up doing a cameo. I guess he wasn't that big at this point. Was like...
Does that count as a cameo? I think that's just legitimately...
Just a small part.
Yeah, just a small part.
Nameless 1 or 2 line part.
Because he was...
Actually, it's the same character he plays in the movie The Transporter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like...
So he's transported the briefcase to...
Kind of. It's like, I think it's like a subtle wink at the camera.
Okay.
Like, oh, here's another movie this guy's in.
Right.
Yeah.
As opposed to all of the other movies where he played basically the same character.
Yeah. This is like the beginning of like Jason Statham the movie.
But it's a really good job of like show don't tell the audience of like you immediately like, okay, Tom Cruise is not from here and he's up to no good.
And also it's one of those things that if like you blink, you don't really understand the situation. So Tom Cruise and Jason Statham's characters, they bump into each other. And they both drop identical briefcases. So if you're not really paying attention, like people would be nowadays on their second screen, you'd totally miss it.
Yeah.
But like they each drop a briefcase. Vincent picks up the other briefcase and he's like, enjoy your time. So it's definitely some like, clandestine operation.
Yeah. And so like it hints at criminality without really establishing it so that like the reveal of like, oh shit, he's out here killing people, like it still hits. You kind of like feel like he's up to no good, but you don't really know the stakes until the body falls on the cab.
Yeah.
There's also really great character establishment shots of Max, like super quick cut shots of like the motor pool and the dispatch for the cab company. Just like really weird angles. I'll see if we can find clips to include on this part, but like there's like a weird sideways kind of upward shot at the rear view mirror with something hanging from it. And just a bunch of just really cool directing. Like I never understand how a director looks at a set and is like, I want this camera with this lens right here pointing at this angle for 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
This is because they have the vision. Like, I know like sometimes I'll do this when we're trying to do clips for even this show. It's just like, oh no, I want specifically this one thing. And it'll just be like me talking with our editors, like, hey, I want like this for half a second. And then I want you to change to this because you have the vision of what you really want to put in the screen and directing must be really fun for that, especially for the good directors who can really express exactly what you got to be extra meticulous with those sorts of things.
Yeah. I think that's where like the savant directors are like the most impressive, because like if you've been on sets for a long time and then you start directing, I'm sure you just pick up like, I remember in this scene when in that other movie I was in, we used this lens and it looked really cool for this kind of shot. But like when you're just like, you just went to film school or like not even that, and you can make these decisions. Directors are amazing. Yeah. Especially the ones who aren't assholes.
But even if you didn't go to film, like some people just have it. Some people just have, if I'm going to borrow a term from training day, just the magic eye. Like some people inherently just know, like, this is how I want my thing to be portrayed. Yeah. And this is one of those movies.
Yes, Michael Mann definitely has that eye for sure.
Yeah.
But like all of those shots, like you very quickly understand who Max is, because he gets into a car that was just prepped for him and cleans it.
Yeah.
And then we get like, the next thing I want to talk about is like the first few fares that they kind of rush through just to establish like the monotony of his life.
Yeah.
Like a couple arguing in the back seat. I can't even remember who was like in between those, but it just like, he doesn't really have any lines until Annie gets in his cab.
Yeah.
But you so clearly already understand who this guy is. You understand like he's been doing this for a while. He knows to just like shut up and get through the shift. He wants things clean.
He also, when Annie gets there, he shows very quickly, he's like, yeah, I also know my stuff. I know how to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
Like, because he is a master at his craft, regardless of how that craft may be portrayed in the movie, because it kind of make it seem like it's like not deserving or he's not good enough because he should be doing something greater.
Right. Which is funny because I caught myself having the thought, like when Annie, they have their like chat throughout the drive and she gets out of the car and comes back to give him her number. Like I have the thought, like a lawyer, like being like, oh, I might date a cab driver. Yeah, right. But I feel like that's part of the point.
Yeah.
It's like, it's an unlikely pairing.
But it also happens. I mean, I think unlikely relationships happen all the time.
True.
Because if you're a lawyer, you're so used to other lawyers' bullshit. And just a guy who's calm, quiet, respectful.
And their whole conversation was him surprising her with like his observation and his intelligence and his like, oh, he's not just a cab driver, he's funding a dream. Like,
yes.
So I think like that, I still think like I may be brainwashed by culture and the internet, but like to think like still a district attorney still wouldn't be like, no, whatever. But I like to believe it's possible.
Yeah. But Max, I think the movie goes through great lengths to kind of belabor the point that Max was really never going to actually do this.
Right.
So he's lying.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm trying to give to impressionable young men is lie to women. There is zero consequences. You'll just get away with it and you'll get a hot woman like Annie Farrow, district attorney.
You gotta kill Tom Cruise first.
Yeah, exactly. But then that's how you keep her.
And also, her ass is lying. That's a wig.
Yeah. Exactly. You know?
Yep.
I said that we wouldn't start doing Manosphere content, but you know what? We got to get them bucks.
Honestly, whatever. We've started fights with LEO, so we've pushed that audience away. We started a feud with the Irish Americans.
We started a feud with the IRA.
Not yet.
No, they're cool.
No, I support the independents.
Yeah, that was the point that I was trying to make in that whole thing. You can't be an Irish person and then align the oppressors. Yeah, right. Colonizers. This is the whole point of Ireland and all that.
And if you identified with what Ugo said and got mad about it, you're part of the problem.
Exactly.
And you're a fake. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that was just great scene. The two of them also like acted their ass off in that scene.
It's very cute. And
it's literally cute.
Yeah.
Like, but there's like more to it than that because of the way that they kind of like dance around each other at first and then connect with each other. And it also establishes hints for later in the movie. Like if you're listening to what she says on the phone and you're listening to what she says to him, you can almost predict that she's one of the victims.
Yeah.
And I think like, I definitely did not catch that the first time I watched it, but I remembered going in the second time. And so it was kind of cool to like spot those little hints. I also love that like when she asks him about his plans, you can tell he's hesitating. And he even like doesn't want to tell Vincent later.
Yeah.
And I relate to that. One of my like primary sayings that I stole from Wheezy is real G's move in silence like lasagna. Don't tell people your schemes until you're sure that you're going to accomplish it, you know? So I love that part. It was so believable by Jamie Foxx too, to like, there were a bunch of points in there where they hesitate with each other about like being vulnerable or offering up information.
Yeah, she did that whole thing about like, you know, I throw up, I cry, and then I rewrite my notes.
Very vulnerable. Yeah, that she probably never gets to tell people that.
Exactly,
you know?
And those are the only things you can get by really, you know, there are plenty of, I know, like if you take an Ubers or tag, I'm a person who loves to talk, obviously. You know, I would say like 70% of the time, you just get someone who's going to just do like the bullshit. They're not really interested. They're just talking to you to talk to you. But I remember I was in Lisbon and me and this guy had this, like, he was generally interested and I was generally interested. We were just talking to each other. Me and had this conversation about politics, about just like, you know, about football, about just changing cultures and stuff. And honestly, out of my trip, I was there for like 3 days. It was the best. That was the best conversation that I had because it was just a human with another human being vulnerable with each other and having a real conversation. Right. Those moments are very valuable. So I think like the emotions that they were able to bring out of this scene, you can totally feel it and it feels very authentic. And that's why it's a really good scene.
Yeah, really just, they both kill it. It's good writing, but you can't write the pauses that they just nail perfectly. Yeah. Both back and forth as they're kind of going through the attraction phase, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I called this next part, the whirlwind begins.
Reap it, Murphy, you son of a bitch.
Because he almost doesn't take the fare. Like Vincent walks up to the cab after casing the joint, you know, like planning how his night's going to end, going after Annie. And he like hails Vincent, who's like doing something in his notebook and like ignores him. And then he's like, wait, like come back. And so it's like, it's that click of fate right there, you know?
I Ching.
Yes. Yeah. And Vincent immediately just starts complaining about LA. Foreshadowing he tells a story of a guy who died on the metro and rode for 6 hours before anyone noticed, is like his example of what's wrong with LA.
Guy gets on the MTA here in LA, dies. They get it right on notice.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we already talked about that's how he dies, and he says the same thing as his final words.
And I was wondering to you, right, like, because I'm not really sure, is the implication that he was responsible for that guy?
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I'm not sure if it is something to be caught. I'm just wondering if he's talking
I think
shit.
I think he truly doesn't like LA for like the reasons he's saying, and like he saw this one story that proves his point.
But it's like interesting because, I mean, Vincent's a bit of a walking contradiction anyways.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, they're both like two sides of the same coin, but they're a bit of yin yang. That's the whole movie. And there's a very, like, another one of these like philosophical battles between like two people or whatever, you know, stoicism, like nihilism or whatever. It's really interesting that he feels that way because he's also so detached.
Right.
He's like arguably the most detached person.
Yeah, he's a sociopath.
Yeah.
He's a contract killer who's a sociopath, and he's complaining about lack of connection.
And it's interesting. I actually haven't thought about this until right now, but that's the very next scene after two people had a genuine connection in LA. Naturally.
Right.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either. And then he complains about lack of connection and people not looking out for each other, and then goes and kills somebody.
I know, it's funny because Max is like low-key looking out for him. He's just like, he's like, I'm not supposed to do this. I'm going to do you a favor. Yes, you're paying me $600 whole, which is, you know, 2004. That's
as
probably,
a cabbie, that's a good amount of money.
That's good money. That is
like he said, he makes like $450 a night. He's like, okay, I'll give you $600 if you get me to the airport on time and all my stops.
Should just give him $1,000.
Yeah, right. I know,
but
he could probably afford it. I mean, he was planning to kill him anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you'd be like, I'll give you $2,000. The person shuts up.
Exactly.
It's not like a.
Maybe it's because Vincent is so calculating. Maybe he thinks if he swings too high, then Max will be like,
What's going on?
Why would you pay me more? Like, if you just want to not find another cab tonight, then I understand like paying me a little extra.
Because I'm going to make you wait and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But, and then it immediately goes off the rails and he kills somebody, falls on the cab. And I love as he comes out, it's like, you killed him. No, I shot him. The bullets in the fall killed him. Just so deadpan. Yeah. As he's like trying to think about like what to do next.
It's funny because I'm assuming that like he wasn't supposed to fall on the cab.
Yeah.
It's just, I love when he comes. It's like one of the few times you see Vincent panic. He's just kind of like he's like looking around to see if anybody saw. He's scoping it out, but also still calm
because he wasn't supposed to fall out the window. He's supposed to just kill him in the room and like go about his night and keep it low key. But you do see him kind of like he's calculating.
Yeah,
and
he's like looking around.
He's playing jazz and he's improving.
He doesn't even try to like deny it at any point. He's like, no, I killed him right over there.
Yeah, right.
I was standing here, and then he killed that dude there.
Yeah,
like play it off as like a suicide or
yeah.
I did it.
No, there's no lying to you. I did that shit.
Yeah.
And just like the next thing I wanted to talk about, which we're already kind of talking about, is just the dynamic between the two of them.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's yin and yang. It's, but there's also this like weird affection that Max seems to have for Vincent.
Yes.
And like, as the audience, we know, I feel like Max has hope that, there's an affection that Vincent has for Max. I think I said it backwards. And as an audience, we know from what Fanning says is like, you remember that case in Oakland, cabbie killed 3 people and killed himself. So like, as an audience, we're like, he's probably going to kill Max. But I think Max has a little bit of hope that if he just goes along with it, he'll make it through the night, you know?
Yeah.
And Vincent almost, I don't know if he's trying to capitalize on that and using this like kind of mentor thing as like a control mechanism, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like he actually isn't like, he can't help himself, but to like guide Max a little bit.
I take it the opposite way.
Do you?
I think
he's controlling him.
I don't think I don't have the same sort of feeling I did with Training Day where you feel like there's a little bit of good in Alonzo there. I think this guy is like literally a sociopath. He's just,
but like he does stuff like when Max is getting in trouble with his boss, like,
well, no, I think that's because I don't think he wants that guy to stay the fuck away.
Oh, okay.
He's just like, the less people that are worried about you, the less people that are all this stuff, I need this to go away. So that's why it's like, he's just like, I mean, yeah, he's like, tell him to fuck off. Like, sure, but it's just at the same time, like,
then like all of the things about like, oh, like with you're just planning, you're just dreaming, you're not acting.
I think that's
like,
more, the way that I interpreted
like,
it is just like, Vincent has such disdain for that character. Mm-hmm. It's like, to me, I read it more as disgust, as he's just like,
how could you be like this?
Exactly. You have no plans.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you say you're going to do this shit. You're not going to do anything. And that's like him. It's not so much Max as it is, to me, a projection of like people in general.
Yeah.
And the people that he doesn't like. And I believe that feeling is what allows him to be able to be a detached psychopathic murderer.
Yeah.
Because you can't, it's harder to kill someone if you're like, oh, this guy has a dream and he has this beautiful date tomorrow, and that would probably make you think a little bit more, but it's like, you're never going to call that girl. You're never going to do this. You're always just going to drive a cab. And what the fuck? What's one less cab guy? I killed millions.
Yeah, right.
Unforgivable.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that I'm looking at the things I jotted down of like imparted wisdom, and it could all be controlling him. Like keeping the boss away, or the Rwanda versus Ramon comparison, I think is just like him explaining his nihilism more than anything. He's like, why do you care about the guy in the truck? Did you care about any other Rwandans? No. Like, why do you care about people you don't know?
Humans only have and that's why I think it's bullshit, because Vincent is smart enough to know humans only have the capacity to like, I think it's like humans only have like the capability of like knowing 200 people or something like that on average. It's like, there's only so much you can do and so many things you can care about. And so it's just like, for him, you don't care about anything or anybody. Presumably, we don't get a deep dive into him, but like, you know, he just doesn't care. So it's easy for him to, you know, whatever. It's very easy. It's like whataboutism.
Right.
Like, oh, you know, you don't care about this. Well, what about, you know? And I used to be that person to some degree, and it's annoying as fuck. And it's just like
I'm that person when I'm trying to intentionally bug people.
Yeah, so, like,
so maybe that's what he's doing. He's using it to emotionally manipulate.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, he's just being shitty on purpose. And the more that he can be shitty to, I think, is control. Just make Max believe, oh, well, let me prove him wrong so I can get out of it. But, you know.
So the only other scene I jotted in this section is when they're in the Korean club and he's hitting that target. I forget the character's name that he shoots. They're playing Ready, Steady, Go by Paul Oakenfold, which was on Dance Dance Revolution 2 Ultra Mix.
They're playing Korean style.
The Korean version.
Yeah, which was only for this movie. I love this fucking song. That was in my notes. The way I used to replay the Eva Mendes, I would replay this scene because this was John Wick for me before John Wick.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah. So he kills the target, and then there's two of Felix's guys that are about to kill Max, who they think is Vincent, and Vincent kills them to save Max. And then Fanning grabs Max and runs, and then he kills Fanning.
He still needs his guy.
Does he though?
Yeah.
That's
because he's killed everyone that's onto him, basically. Maybe they don't know, but I think
because if he lets Felix's guys kill Max, he can just go get Annie.
Yeah, but then I think in that situation, he's smart enough to know if they're trying to kill Max, it's because they think that Vincent's fucked up and it's going to fuck with his whole thing. Because he definitely sent him there. I fucked up.
Right.
So now you have an antagonistic relationship with the cartel, which is not good.
So he's just a sociopath. He's just controlling.
I mean, maybe he's probably still in that situation later on. But I mean, I think part of it's like, and you're kind of right, actually, because no one knows who you are. If they kill Max, well, the thing is, okay, no, because he still has to go get Annie at this point. So if they kill Max, then who killed Annie? Which will put the trail onto him. If Max gets it out and then he completes it,
then he needs Max as the cover. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. The scheme makes sense.
And I think I think there's a little point in there too, which I wrote this as my note for this section too. There's a point in there when he gets saved and Max is like, oh wait, he doesn't understand this maybe so much yet. And he's like, oh, he's trying to save me.
Yeah.
But then when Fanning comes and then he pieces Fanning up, it's just like, that's when I think prior to this point, you're right. There's some jazz going on. It's just like one person plays some notes, the other person plays some notes. They're dancing around each other. It's a game. And at that point, it's just like, oh no, I'm not getting out of this.
Yeah, I need to get myself out of this.
Yeah, he even asks, he's like, why don't you just fucking kill me?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. I was legitimately confused and now I'm not. I think it really is just Vincent in control.
And even I think we're kind of going out of order while we're talking about this, but I would be remiss if I didn't talk about my favorite scene in the movie, because I just think I'm not sure if we're going to go to what is the symbology. We probably will later on, but my favorite scene is the coyotes or wolves. I used to think they were wolves, but when I was doing research, they're coyotes.
Yeah, which is a very LA thing.
Yeah,
coyotes everywhere,
and
they're here now too.
Yeah, see them in my neighborhood.
We can go on. I think we'll go into it when we talk about the symbols later. But I just love both of them in the cab, and then Max coming to a stop to allow the coyotes to cross, and then both in all the chaos of everything that's going on, just a moment of peace and nature for them both to be absorbed in. And I did my best to try and understand it in my own way, but I know that I'm sure I don't really understand it the way that it was intended.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about that because I love it. We'll come back to it later.
Yeah.
But I just love that scene.
Yeah. And then another scene I want to talk about is the jazz club scene.
Yeah.
Which I liked that a lot. I forgot to... No, I did jot it down.
Yeah.
Barry Shabaka Henley, who's been in a lot of stuff, but in terms of the canon of this podcast, he was the man, I was splitting it with you guy in Rush Hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have a cigarette.
No, not that guy. The security guard.
No. Yeah.
Remember I took my bag that time you bought that weed?
Yeah.
I was splitting it with you.
But I gave you the bigger half.
Didn't I give you the big half? Yeah, Barry Shabaka Henley. He's been in a lot of other stuff, but I just when I was going through I was like going through the comments, like, oh yeah, shout out Axel, weekly shout out, who very much enjoyed the Puff Puff Pass episode, as we knew he would.
He very much enjoys the Puff Puff Pass.
Yeah, he does. But the jazz club scene, it's so good because you're still trying to figure out Vincent, right? And like I'm sitting here I really believed that he wanted to stop at a famous jazz club and listen to some good jazz, and then they were going to move on to the next stop. And then I'm like, oh. Then he says that Cartagena line, and you see Daniel's face drop, and it's just like, oh.
I like that this movie, because movies are able to do this, where they take the most serious scene and then undercut it. When he asks him the piece of trivia, like, where did Miles learn to play music?
Where did Miles learn music?
At music school.
Yeah.
Music school. You got it in music school, right?
Yeah.
So confident.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's also like it's jazz is symbolic for the movie itself too. Like it's like Vincent even kind of almost straight up says it, like, this is like, I like jazz because I work this way. Like I have there are rules, there's structure, which is the laws of music. But it's all about the improvisations, the notes between the notes, all these things. And it describes that character so well. But then in the following scene that we'll talk about in a little bit, where he goes to Felix, you see Max playing jazz. Mm-hmm. You see him in a moment where he's caught and you think he's fucked, and he starts improvising. And it turns into, like you were saying, the two of them almost dueling pianos for the rest of the movie.
And even like the preceding that, like another one of my favorite scenes is the Black Peter scene with Javier Bardem.
We can talk about that now, because I have that like that's like the next thing that I was going to talk about.
Because then I think this is Max's awakening.
Right.
Max has been kind of coasting by. Now his back is up against the wall.
Right.
And he knows. He's like, all right, I'm not dealing, like, I'm with the cartel. This guy's killing people for fun at this point. Mm-hmm. Like, I got to do this. And so it's just funny. He's just like, tell that guy over there. What? And you get to see him just like slowly reaching.
Yeah. And he like,
tell your man behind to put that gun away before I take it and beat his ass with it.
Yeah. Tell him, I wrote the quote, tell him to put the gun away before I take it and beat his bitch ass to death with it. And it's the same air he has when he's talking to Jada. Yeah. Like that confidence comes back for the first time since that scene, where he's like, he's accepted, like, I might die right here. I have to make a move. I have to play some jazz. I have to improvise, and I'm going to do it confidently because that's the only way I'm getting out of this. And you see that true character trait that was already demonstrated.
He was already this person.
Right. Yeah.
That person was already in
before
there,
Vincent undercut all of his confidence and just turned his world upside down. You saw a very confident guy. Like, he was confident about which was going to be the fastest way. He was confident in like his approach to talking to this woman. He was confident in shutting the fuck up when the couple was arguing in the back seat. Yeah. And then he regains it in this moment of like,
I view it more as, and you know, everything's on a spectrum in my life. Everything's on a spectrum. But I think this movie is kind of saying, you know, it's not so much that you're a Vincent or a Max. Everyone's in the in between.
Yeah.
Anyone can be a confident killer, and killer, I mean, in the sense of
killer.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can be a killer at anything that you do if you just, you know, believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you need to be, I'm one of those people, like, you know, if I have to write an essay for something, if it's due in 2 weeks, I can't write anything.
Yeah.
But once it's like due in 3 hours, all of a sudden it's just like,
yep. Or
I can like see through the matrix.
Or a podcast script.
Yeah. Well, no, I can't do. I just know that I can come here and improvise.
Yeah.
And that's a lot more fun to me than having to write a script. Even, I don't know, I prefer talking to the camera than being like, and then Max goes on to his next. But I was like, also, if we try to do the synopsis off the top of our brain, I'm going to forget half of the movie.
Yep. And also, speaking of telling stories, that Pedro Negro, the Black Peter story, Javier Bardem is such a fucking gem, man. Like, God, like, it's so, the words are so simple, but the way he delivers that monologue and that story is like, if the words on the page is a guy just sharing a cultural children's tale with someone, but like the way he does it is so fucking chilling.
Yeah, and
you know this guy's a monster, and so like the meaning of that story is like, why are you fucking with me?
I also just like the way that it's like, because Javier Bardem's able to speak perfect English. Not that like it's like very fun when you get to see people like code switch back into because he's like Santa Claus.
Yeah. The accent.
The accent. The way that he says Claus is so good.
And again, that wasn't on the page. That's this incredible actor doing incredible work.
Yeah.
And someone who did surprisingly okay work with terrible costuming is Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
I think we need to talk about that character because he's super important to driving the plot. I also like, was he supposed to be cool? Like, was this 2003 cool guy with like the leather jacket and like the slick back hair and the little mustache? Because it looked very tacky to me on a rewatch, just like all of Ruffalo's like look in this movie.
I think that's tacky guy's idea of cool.
Okay. I mean, he's a cop who's trying to be cool. So like, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know if he's trying to be cool. I think it's intentional because I think he's not supposed to be.
I mean, he's in narcotics. So like,
he's not the focus of the movie. And I think the movie wants you to think that he is going to be the savior for a point. And then they're able to rip it away from you, which really drives home the final act. And
because you,
I don't think
as an audience member, let me just click on that really. Like, as an audience member, you're hoping that he's going to save Max in the same way that Max is hoping to be saved until that point you were talking about, where Fanning is trying to save Max and gets killed, and Max realizes he has no one to save him.
Because throughout the movie, he's the only person that believes Max.
Yeah.
Or like not even believes
in this character he doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's the only person, and it goes against Vincent's whole philosophy. Most people, like everybody, I think that's what it goes on to say. I think that's actually an interesting question now that I'm thinking about it from this context. I think that Fanning is a bit more of a Max. He cares about people if it doesn't require, like he's the only, everybody else, and this is like, it doesn't fucking matter. They meet the FBI. Oh, it's a crazy day. Well, fucking nothing's happening. Yeah. Everyone's so chill and so detached and everything. And there's like only a couple characters who aren't like that. Yeah. And he's one of those people. And so I think Max, like, you don't really get to see it for like, we get the, the fourth wall God perspective where we can see that this person, because he keeps asking, he's just like, the detective who did that, investigated that, always thought there was somebody else there. It didn't make sense. This guy just ups in one day, kills 3 people and kills himself.
Yeah.
And he sees that happening again. He's willing to do that extra little bit of work in order to get an outcome. And so maybe calling him a Max isn't necessarily the right thing, but he's more Max than he is everybody else.
Yeah.
He's not so detached that
he's kind of disproving what Vincent hates about LA. There's this guy who is looking at the bigger picture, who is thinking about people, and then you have all these cops and FBI agents and drug dealers and everybody who's just like playing the game.
Yeah.
And like not thinking about anybody. And it
costs them his life.
It does, yeah. And a character who I really want to mention as the biggest piece of shit in this is Pete Berg. I don't know the character's name, but his partner is like, hey, dude, like, I got a theory. Like, I think this is some real shit. He's like, nah, you're full of it. I'm going home. And then he like wakes him up. He's like, hey, I swear to God, man, come check it out. He's like, all right. He's like, no, you're still full of it. I'm going home. And leaves him alone to get fucking killed. Yeah. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
There's something else going on.
Ray, there's nothing else going on. I thought there was, there isn't. It's their ball, it's their game. There's nothing in it for us.
There's nothing in it for you.
That's right. It's late. I'm going home. You know what time it is?
Can you imagine? You wake up the next day and your partner's fucking killed.
Exactly. Like, I really like whatever that character's name is. I truly hope that if this were real, that guy like drank himself to death.
Yeah.
And all of his family left him because like what a piece of shit. As a cop, like you got one job and let's back up your buddy.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm wondering, because we don't get to see the whole world, what if he's just like, what if he's on some like real Ugo shit where he's just like, this is him this is him all the time, and this is the one time that it was right.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time, he's like, I got a theory.
Yeah.
It's real thin. It's thin. It's thin. It's like, what if Amanda Hunsaker, what if she wasn't the only one there?
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Pete Berg, he got tired of Fanning's shit.
Yeah, he got tired. No. I'm with you.
No, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's...
Because and Mark Ruffalo is like making all these great points, too.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, why are you brushing all this shit off? Like, I understand if you're like legitimately playing devil's advocate and you're like, no, it could be this.
Because even he tries to play devil's advocate. Like, I think they're all talking, like, maybe it was when the FBI were there and they're just like, oh yeah, they're like, specially trained people or this and that. So it's like, why would he kill himself? Obviously, it's fake. So like, you don't train to be a crazy assassin. You're just like, all right, I did my job for the cartel. Boom. Like,
so fuck Pete Berg. That's my take.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Not a friend of the podcast.
Not a
the actor is.
I do love Pete Berg, like as a director.
Yeah.
But this
Pete
character,
Berg, he did a good job of being a dislikable character.
Exactly, yeah. There is a Pete Berg movie that we're going to do on this podcast with Jamie Foxx called The Kingdom. So look forward to that.
I haven't watched that movie, but I'm fully aware of
I think this is the second time I brought it up on the pod, and it might be one of the I don't know. I might have the DVD at home.
Ce n'est pas.
Yeah. Another scene after the whole Korean Ready, Steady, Go, the car crash and the rescue climax, like the end of the movie, just the whole end of the movie. I love, like you mentioned this earlier, the scene as Max, that one, like Fanning was that last rope he was ready to cling to for someone to save him. And you just see his mind spiraling, realizing he's not going to get out of this, realizing like, I can't reason with this creature, and also realizing where they're about to go. All right. He
doesn't know yet.
He doesn't until he crashes.
He doesn't. It's just kind of like he knows when he grabs Fanning. Fanning's like, he's like, hey, I'm not. It's someone else. And he's like, I know. And like, it's not. I know. And they like, I'm lying. He's like, I know.
Yeah, I know. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's get the fuck out of here. And it's actually kind of crazy because like the way that the movie does it, they make it seem like Vincent's still in the club. So when you get out with Max and Fanning, all of a sudden it's so surprising and so chilling because you're just like, oh yeah, and then that's the last tether. So.
And you feel the same way Max does.
Exactly.
I mean, not really because you're at home on your couch.
But you get a
like you like, oh, like it's so surprising, and that's how Max is like, oh, and then like he has to reckon with the fact that this safety net just dropped out from under him.
Yeah.
And
before that scene, you get that calm driving where he believes that he could potentially get out of this. And like they're kind of vibing, they've been talking, so maybe, I think
he's falling for the partnership that Vincent is selling him, where he's like, especially after getting the list for him.
Yeah, and that's
he feels like I did a thing.
Exactly.
It's almost a little bit of Stockholm syndrome. He's like,
they're like doing the mission together.
Right. I keep helping you out. Like I fucked around. I survived a cartel interaction to help you. Like
now he does not feel good.
He does not feel good.
I don't feel so good.
They have that Audio Slave song and it's playing Shadow of the Sun. Yeah. It's like one of my favorite Audio Slave songs, slowly building. And then you get both of those scenes. And then when they get back in the car and he's just like, oh, you're just going to kill me. Like, what am I doing this? He's like, oh, shit doesn't matter. And he starts speeding. Yeah. And he's just like, Vincent pulls the gun on Max and he's like, slow down. He's like, what are you going to do? Shoot me?
Yeah, exactly. It's so good.
And the music builds up to like this perfect crescendo where he's just like, you know what? I forget what his words were, but he basically says, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then crashes the car. And so after the car flips,
well, I wrote down the line. It was one of my favorite lines. I think he does say, well, fuck you then before he crashes it. But before that, he says, the standard parts that are supposed to be there in people, in you, aren't.
Yeah.
Anybody home? And the standard parts that are supposed to be there in people, in you aren't.
Then why haven't you killed me yet? And that's when he speeds up. What a line.
Yeah.
It's such a believable thing for that character to say, and also like just insightful insightful sentence for the writer to put down on paper.
I feel like Vincent's hurt by it. Like, if you look at his face, it's like he's like thinking about it. It's
right,
not
and
like
he's realizing like, I've been seen, and there is something happening right now that I can't control.
Yeah,
I can't improv my way out of this. I can't shoot him because he's driving us at 80 miles an hour down the middle of a surface street. But yeah, and that control flips as the car flips, and the music crescendos.
Yeah,
it's chef kiss.
So, like, as the car flips, there's an accident. Vincent escapes, goes off to do his last thing. Max is just, I'm over this. So he's about to get arrested by a cop. And the cop, like...
Well, the cop is helping him at first because he thinks it's just a car crash.
Like, hey, you've been in the car crash.
And then he finds Ramon in the trunk.
And he's about to arrest him. But then while he's about to arrest him, he sees on the laptop that...
the last name on the list is Annie.
So he's like, oh, I got to go save her. And so he turns into a Vincent, and he, like... judo chops the guy away.
And he even says a line that Vincent said to him earlier in the movie, which is, when did this become a negotiation?
Yeah.
Cuff yourself. Like, he 100% has learned from this entire evening.
Yeah. But he's also not Vincent. He's like, hey, I'm going here. Call the cops.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because, like, the cops don't come.
Right, yeah.
But the thing about the final scene, like the third act, is just like, you can't just go into a federal building, kill the guard, and then
just go up the elevator. Yeah. Like, where did he get the key? I guess the key was out of the suitcase with Statham. So someone in the cartel.
And that was the thing. So I realized this not on this watch, but like my last watch of this movie, because this is a movie I watch probably once every year or two, that he goes to kill Annie first, but she's not there.
Oh, I thought he was just like
no, because like he might be casing. I thought the implication
I think
that
you're right.
He comes down, like he puts in the key badge to go up, and like apparently she's not there for whatever reason because she's already she's going somewhere else. She's not going to work.
She was on her way there, but she was.
Oh yes, she's on her way there.
Yeah,
and he wasn't there,
so he's like, I'll just circle back.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally didn't catch it. I just assumed he was just checking the place out.
Because he already has the badge. But it's like, you already have the badge. Why do you need to kill? I guess you need to kill all witnesses, but like, it's just, it's very interesting. But
that's the thing though. Like, if he was there, I guess it's still nighttime when she gets dropped off.
Yeah.
But there's like a bunch of people there. So you'd think he wouldn't be there to kill someone with that many people there. But I don't know. I think you're right. Like, he's clearly shown that he's capable of, like, he killed Daniel. The club was mostly empty, but like
there's still people there.
He still kind of like just tips the head down, so you think he's just drunk or something.
Yeah, taking a nap.
Yeah,
you get out of there.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, the cops in this movie, I don't know.
Yeah, a bunch of Pete Bergs.
Yeah,
not a lot of Fannings.
Yeah,
which that's probably true of law enforcement.
Yeah.
There's probably, much like any profession, there is a huge swath of mediocrity, and then there's some very bad apples. And some excellence as well.
So pretty much just like the final scene, like the final bit of this is just the cat and mouse game of Max is now unlocked. He has to save Annie. He steals a cell phone from some random dude, but the cell phone's on E.
Yeah.
He like calls her to let her know. She's like, this isn't a funny game. And he's like, no, when you got in my cab, like, I know about, I met Felix. Like,
and then she's like, oh.
Yeah, she's just like, everyone's dead right now. You need to get out. Listen to me. You need to get out. And so
the lights go out. Yeah. And the phone goes out.
He gets in there, saves her. He has to like run across a building to get to her. Some real badass shit. But this was my biggest gripe of the movie, is when he gets her and they're running through the window and Vincent's shooting at them and
missing when he hasn't missed anybody the entire movie. Yeah, I was like, boo.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you need something else. If you need to do some Deus Ex Machina and something falls or something else happens.
Yeah,
like,
oh, it was a reflection.
Yeah,
like even that would be, but him just missing.
Exactly. They're just running in a straight line.
Yeah,
yeah. He had to kill.
I totally thought the same.
Yeah, he murdered people in the club.
Yeah,
like at Fever, like. Way crazier than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he got rocked by. He's still recovering from the car crash.
I think that's what Sarah said.
Okay, that was a pretty bad car crash.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that.
But I mean,
I love that it ends like when they when they're cornered and Max finally decides to shoot back at Vincent, he shuts his eyes.
Yeah.
Like, what? And still comes out on top.
It's just symbolic.
Yeah.
It's all symbolism at that point.
Yeah.
Symbology.
Symbology, yeah.
It's all symbology. My other thing about this was my other gripe about the movie, right? So I don't think you've thought about this because I don't think I've never seen anyone talk about this. I'm not sure if this is an error. I'm not sure if this is how trains are in LA. But when Vincent does that whole jumps off and gets onto the other train thing, right? He enters through the back of the train and follows them to the front of the train.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck is the train conductor?
Theoretically in the front.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they're at the front by the end because they get to the front of the train and they have nowhere else to go. So they have to shoot it out.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing that I was just like, how is this train not getting stopped? Understandably, the people in the train might just run, that guy has a gun. Okay,
get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out. Maybe they don't say anything to the train conductor, they just run away. But like, we see him get in on this side of the train and then get out of the other side. Yeah, that's it. Huh. But yeah, anyways.
If you have familiarity with the early 2000s MTA train structure and where that guy would be sitting,
please let us know. Please let me know.
I've never ridden the subway in LA. Can't say I have. So
I don't think I have either.
I've only been there a couple times.
I've been there plenty of times, but I've never only cars.
Yeah, I tend to find it a pretty detached and I don't even remember what his rant is. I've only gone. I went to Disneyland as a kid, and I went for work once. Those are the only times I've been out.
I spend most of my time in Rancho Palos Verdes.
Oh wait, we went to.
Yeah, you went. You spent time. Yeah,
we weren't in LA. Yeah, like we were in like Newport Beach, and like
literally behind.
Shout out Oogie's aunt that put us up randomly. on a Friday night or whatever.
The house behind like their tennis court, like the road right behind there, like down like a half a mile's where Tiger Woods crashed his car the first time.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty sick.
Good claim to fame.
Yeah. They don't live there anymore. They moved, but shout out PV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. We got Roscoe's.
Also had family that live in PV.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with everything you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. PV's a nice place, but it's also the only problem with I'm going to stop talking about LA. We talk way too much about LA on this show. But it's just
if you ever want to hear more about my road trip with Ugie, tune into a future episode because we're not talking about it right now.
It takes forever to get everywhere.
Yeah. I just need to do movies in New York.
We will. We're going to do New Jack City or something.
Next week isn't even in America, so stay with us.
But yeah, anyways, Vincent and Max have a shootout.
And we get the line, which I think I jotted down, where he calls back to his earlier rant and he says, with his last words, Vincent says, guy gets on the MTA here in LA, dies. Think anybody will notice?
And it's almost like a sadness. It's like Max is seeing a friend die. They're relieved, but almost to like your point earlier, it kind of is like I feel there's almost like a thank you and like thanks for waking me up or something like.
Yeah,
it's like a somber respect or something.
He didn't want to kill him.
Yeah,
even despite all of the clear ways that this guy's a monster, he didn't want to kill him.
That's funny. Earlier, this is something we forgot about, but like way back at the beginning when it starts, he's just like, hey man, just like let me go. Like it's like I promise I won't tell anything. He's like, oh, you promise?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I promise. Get in the car.
Yeah.
They don't even know who's driving these things half the time anyway, man. They never check anything. Okay, so just take it. You, me.
You promise not to tell anybody, right?
Yeah.
Promise. Get in the fucking car.
But yeah, I mean, that's the movie. Like that is the movie. Like it just ends pretty much there.
Yeah. It ends as quickly as it started, really. Like
just him with Jada Pinkett.
Yeah. Off to start a limo business together, probably, because I don't know, she might have had enough of the cartel at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. I hope she wins that. And Max is like, now, geez, Max
can prove Felix hired the hit.
Exactly. Because he did that shit.
Yeah.
But do you want to be involved? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You get some good witness protection, though.
Yeah. Did we do a sequel pitch for this one?
I don't.
Where was Max like fantasizing about that?
Yeah. He had
place.
Yeah, just an island. It was just. Oh no, it was in the Maldives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maldives. And he gives it to Annie.
We didn't talk about that at all.
No.
Yeah. All right. So
that takes us to our our final takes, and we have a few recurring segments here, starting with what's the symbology there? This is where we talk about themes, tropes, symbols from the movie. We already talked about a couple of things.
What's the symbology there?
Symbology? Now that Duffy has relinquished his King Bonehead crown, I see we have an heir to the throne. I'm sure the word you were looking for was symbolism. What is the symbolism there?
The first kind of prevailing theme we've talked about a lot is fate versus agency. Like Max is trying to tell himself he's in control, but is also kind of surrendering to fate, at least for 12 years. He's as much a passenger in the cab as the people he drives around, ultimately. And then Vincent comes in with overwhelming, complete agency and shows him the truth and a way to live that it clearly, like, too far in the other direction. And Max has to evolve.
Yeah. Max is literally who Vincent says that he is.
Yeah.
And it's only through being pushed to the brink and having no other options that he essentially evolves out of that and starts living, which is what the implication is. He has the girl, he saved the girl, he's murdered the evil boss. He has the tools to not be the person that Vincent was disgusted with.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of also, you wrote The American Dream. Just being able to come from, we don't really know where Max comes from, but to be able to build and how unattainable the dream can really be. And it's
the implication is he's very self-made. Like, you're not a cab driver because you had some other affluent choice that you could have done. You have a passion for driving strangers around.
Yeah.
Like, that's no shade at all at cab drivers, Uber drivers, whatever, but it's typically not a dream job.
Yeah.
And we see that in this character. He has a dream. He has this, like, business owner limo company dream that, like, a lot of us have and just never does anything about it. Like, a lot of us never do.
Yeah.
He's the everyman. And through this experience, that preciousness of time gets shown to him, and he can just, like, he has to reckon with it. He's forced to reckon with it for the first time truly, instead of just waiting on things to be perfect before he takes a leap.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I also noted down, like, this was my favorite one, like, passivity versus action. It's ironic that Vincent is a passenger and Max is a driver in this movie. That was definitely intentional.
Yeah.
Because Max is a passenger in life and Vincent's the man of action.
Yeah.
And the
he's
movie,
literally a backseat driver in this movie.
Exactly. And the movie resolves with Max, or with Vincent being like a passenger. He's just on the train going.
Yeah.
And then Max, there's not really like a thematic like rhyme for this, but he has his arm around the girl, so he's like,
and they're
driving
somewhere. Right?
So
they're
like he's driving his life forward.
Yeah,
and I thought that's like it's again something I hadn't really thought about previously.
Yeah,
well, in many ways, like Max was also like the dead passenger on the train. Just like
going through life. Yeah,
going through life, like on like a single automatic track. And like that's what a lot of people like. That's what Vincent criticized a lot of people in LA are. Just people just going through there, pretending to be alive on a single one-way track.
And I think that kind of also goes into, like, if he kills Max, not necessarily on the train, but if he just kills Max, period, as they alluded to with the other cabbie, does anybody notice?
Yeah.
And the only person who does really notice is Fanning, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Alive or dead, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get some chaos versus nature and urban isolation. I think we kind of gone over how like disconnected everybody is in LA. I was coming back to like my favorite scene about the coyotes. I thought it was like very interesting because there's like two coyotes. I'm not sure if this is a high idea at this point. There's two coyotes kind of crossing the street. One confidently just goes across. The other one, it kind of stops for a second. And that's where you get the look between everyone's kind of stop and looking at this other one. It kind of looks both ways and goes. And I always kind of thought, like, I'm not sure if it was on purpose or not. I always kind of interpreted that as the first one being more of Vincent, the second one
Alpha,
being more Max.
Like almost like just like confidently trudging ahead.
And he's showing him the
on
way.
A mission. Yeah.
And like the very next scene is Max becoming more of that person where he takes off the glasses and say, I'll beat you to death with that fucking gun.
Yeah.
And after that, you get like the whole crash, the literal crash out. I love when the crash out is literally a crash.
Literally a crash out, yeah.
But Yeah, it's funny that like throughout all the chaos that can be happening in LA and everything, nature can still just kind of go through completely oblivious.
And the rest of LA is going through completely oblivious to what happened this night. And like, sure, it'll hit the news at some point and people will be like, wow.
Yeah.
And then go about their
But it'll be just like in Training Day, like a decorated officer was killed this. And it's like, you hear those things. And like when I watch the news and they talk about a fire or someone got killed, it's like, unless you're personally affected or you know the person, which happens from time to time, sometimes you are connected or like you know a friend that knows somebody, but most of the time it's just in one ear, out the other.
Yep.
And then the other thing was the moral complicity, which is not something I really thought about too much, but it's like, you know, after a certain point for Max, at what point are you complicit?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, he's cornered, but would the non-relativist morality be to say no and just take the bullet?
Yeah. You're going to take the bullet anyways, but there's always a term that I think it's probably a sports term, but we always talk about it in Magic. You play to your outs. You keep playing. I won't just scoop. I'm just like, I'm going to make you might make a mistake.
Yeah, I'm going to make you beat me.
Yeah, I'm going to make you beat me.
Yep. I did jot down some tropes, which we haven't done before. But, you know, movie and storytelling tropes, the primary one being bottle episode, very similar to Training Day.
Are we doing a bottle episode?
It's a bottle episode.
We're doing a bottle episode.
I'm doing a bottle episode.
All contained in one night, contained in the cab for the most part. The other trope is the philosophical villain, done very well, but it's still a trope. Vincent feels the need to educate, uplift, possibly also controlling, but Vincent could very easily say way less than he does and just control through intimidation. But you got this, like, I have a worldview that allows me to do what I do, and I'm going to share it with you, you know? And then we touched on this a little bit with the nature versus chaos. Or the nature and chaos is that LA as a character is a Hollywood trope, which is also becoming a trope in this podcast because we can't stop doing Hollywood LA movies.
Hey, man, they make good movies. I wish there were more movies about this sort of stuff happening in Montreal. We got some good stuff in Montreal, but it's all Canadian stuff.
I need to go. Go visit.
We have some symbols, but we kind of went over them. The Cab, Jazz, Coyotes, whatever. I got Gone 60 Seconds for you, all right?
All right, so Gone in 60 Seconds, this is our recurring segment where one of us prepares a quiz about the movie for the other. And holy shit, you did a big one. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it says, but I can tell how long this is.
I'm going to unblock, so don't look.
Okay, let me scroll. Okay.
So this is payback for Lethal Weapon. Can you give me all of Vincent kills presumed off screen and the ones we see?
Okay. 60 seconds on the
He kills 14 people.
14.
In the film confirmed, there's 3 debatable and 4 post-movie or pre-movie.
Okay, so the 4 pre-movie are the 3 victims in Oakland and the cab driver.
Correct.
And then we get Ramon, Daniel. He shoots 2 of Felix's guys. We only see him kill one of them. I don't know if he gets the other one. He kills the Korean target and I'm going to say 4 henchmen. Fanning, he shoots an FBI agent that gets dragged out. We don't know if he lives or dies. He kills the security guard at the courthouse. That's all I got.
You were very, very close. So yeah, kills Ramon, kills Sylvester. Don't forget,
Sylvester.
It's the guy with the family that lives at the top. There's the 5 hits.
Oh, right.
He has the 5 hits.
Right. Yep.
He kills the 2 muggers. Remember?
That's right. That was a great scene. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
Max is handcuffed to a steering wheel and gets robbed, and Vincent
kills Daniel. He kills Peter Lim's bodyguard. He kills Felix's henchman, just the one. Then there's like 4 more bodyguards, then Peter, then Ray Fanning, then the security guard. You were correct. The 3 people in Oakland, the male cab driver. Then there was a couple, I would have given them to you. He snaps one guy's neck, but we're not really certain if that's actually a confirmed kill. He stabs one guy with a switchblade, and there's another guy that you can't really tell but he gets 14 confirmed kills.
All right. I'm going to give myself a passing grade on that one.
He did pretty well.
Yeah.
We'll add that up later.
For only my second time seeing the movie, I feel good about that.
Yeah.
And I watched it almost a week ago at this point.
I don't think I would have done as well. So we got to recast the past from you.
Right. So Recast the Past is our recurring segment where we say who we would cast in this movie. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You can go first. I just talked a bunch.
So I cast it as a gender swap.
Mm-hmm.
So I want Haley Steinfeld as Vanessa instead of Vincent.
Haley Seinfeld?
Yeah. Haley Steinfeld. I wrote Seinfeld. Haley Steinfeld as Vanessa instead of Vincent. Zazie Beetz as Maxine.
Yeah.
Who's Van from Atlanta, among other things. And Donald Glover as Andy instead of Annie.
Okay.
To go with Zazie.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. I did a race swap.
Yep.
I did Vincent as Lakeith Stanfield, Max as Jesse Plemons, Annie as Amanda Seales, Fanning as Oscar Isaac, and I want Avian Bardell back as Felix.
Yeah,
because
he's so good.
If anything, just
Oscar Isaac as Fanning. I kind of dig that.
Yeah,
I'm a big Oscar Isaac fan.
Yeah, he's sick.
That's good. Jesse Plemons as a good guy would be cool.
Yeah, that's Max, just because he would also be that.
I feel like he's really good at the kind of like unassuming, like kind of reaction stuff.
But he's played so many bad guys that when it's time for him to morph into the
totally. Because like he's then the kid, the guy that shoots the kid in Breaking Bad at that point.
Yeah, it's funny because like when Max does the whole scene where he takes off the glasses, I was like, "You're just Jamie Foxx now."
Yeah,
like,
right? Yeah. No, that's a good one. I like that. Who's Amanda Seales?
She's in Insecure.
Oh,
yeah.
Amanda, I need to see.
I feel like when you're casting Vincent, you have to pick somebody that is like traditionally like a good guy or like say impact.
Yeah,
I recognize her. Yeah.
So,
San Antonio's winning.
You did have like some pretty good casting though.
You can tell where we are right now. It's game 1, and San Antonio's up 27-19.
Which brings us to...
We're going to cut this.
That brings us to another recurring segment. We call this one Better Off Dead. So this is a character that we think should have died instead of someone who did, or just in general. I want Pete Berg's bitch-ass dead instead of Fanning.
Yeah,
that was mine.
Fair. I said I'd rather that Vincent kills Annie, and then Max has to stalk Vincent down and get revenge, kill him Felix style. It would have been cool if like he just got there too late and he's standing over him. And now it's just like, I've accomplished my goal.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? Maybe if we did like if we ever get to the point where our ideas become reality. We should maybe we should start doing Please Be Kind to Rewind. And just like do scenes differently.
Yeah. Let us know if you want to see that. Because it sounds fun to me. But if nobody watches it, is it worth doing? Yes. The answer is yes. We're just here to have fun.
Yeah.
And then our final segment of the day, which we call Barbenheimer. This is a movie that we would double feature with Collateral. What do you got?
I got No Country for Old Men.
Just Javier Bardem appreciation. I said The Kingdom.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx and Pete Berg. So, staying on theme.
Yep.
Before we close, anything we didn't talk about in the movie that you wish we did?
If we did, put it in the comments below.
Yeah.
But... I think there's definitely things that we forgot to talk about, but you know what? We sped it up though.
Yep. So this has been a new version of the Black and White Cinema Podcast from the Creative Block in Seattle. Thank you for rocking with us today. If you enjoyed this, please share it with a friend. Like, subscribe, leave us movie suggestions in the comments. Let us know what we left out. Let us know if you think we got something wrong. We probably did. We just make shit up and put it on camera.
We're the Chat GPT of
except we're based on nothing and no training, and we just say shit. Like, subscribe, comment, follow, please. You can connect with us anywhere you want at allmylinks.com/kev-n-oogie.
Don't forget to make requests from us. We will do anything.
We will do anything. We're looking for sponsors right now. Maybe by the time this airs, we will have one, maybe. But until then, we'd like to thank the friends of the podcast in lieu of our sponsors who make this possible. Mark Amacio, Marky Boy Productions, and the Creative Block. Shout out Larry and Terry, who were here helping earlier. Megan and Alec for our logos, our Patreon members, Lisa, Eric, Philip, Brian, Ben, and John. And thank all of you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Revolution. Take care.
Peace to all the Nubians filled with the new black consciousness.
Yeah.